Hey, what is up, guys? So today is part two, and it's focused on mastering your nutrition. So we're going to dive into all things nutrition and teaching you exactly what it is you need to be eating in order to achieve the goals that you want to be able to achieve, whether that's wanting to lose weight, drop body fat, even gain weight, or even just to improve your overall health. So we're going to dive into lots of different areas of nutrition, and hopefully you'll get a lot from this and get a bit of understanding about what it is you should be eating on a daily basis. So kicking off anyway, so one thing that stands in a lot of people's way is that they do get confused because there's so much stuff out there about nutrition. And the question people ask is, what do we need to eat in order to achieve the goals that we want? So there's so many different diets out there, which are keto, paleo, low carb, high fat, vegan, meat diets. So there's all these different types of diets out there. But one thing diets do have in common is that they all put you in a calorie deficit. Now, we're going to dive into this in a little bit more later on. But what we mean by that is when you consume less calories than you burn every day, you will burn body fat and you will lose weight. So that's really what all diets come down to, is putting you in that calorie deficit. If your goal is to lose weight and drop body fat, that is. If you want to put on weight, then it's basically the opposite. You overeat the amount of calories that you burn off each and every day. So one thing to kind of realize is that when we think of our body, we should think of it as a machine, and our body runs off specific things, which is going to be our macro and micronutrients. Just the same as you have your car is going to run off the oil and petrol. And if you start putting dirty oil, dirty petrol into the car, your car eventually will start breaking down and it'll stop working. So it's just the same as when you put the good stuff into the car, your car is going to run properly. And it's the same as your body as well. When you start putting shit into your body eventually will start breaking down. It'll stop functioning properly. But once you put the good stuff in, that's when your body will work at its optimal level. And that's what we want to try and focus on today, is giving you a better understanding about what it is that's going to get your body functioning at that optimal level. So, like I said, our body runs off macro and micronutrients. So we're going to quickly dive into them to give you a better understanding about what they are. So first of all, our macronutrients are going to be our fats, your protein, and your carbs. So we have two different types of fats. We have our good fats, which basically comes from, say, your oily fish, your nuts, your seeds, avocado, oils, stuff like that. So that's where you're going to get your good fats from. And good fats help give your body energy, protect your organs, support your cell growth, helps you keep your cholesterol and blood pressure under control, helps your body absorb vital nutrients. So when you focus on having a diet where you're going to cut out all fat, it can actually have a negative effect on your body, because good fats are basically good for you, and you want to be making sure you get more of them into you. One thing about fats is that they are higher in calories than your protein and your carbs. So there's like 9 calories per gram in your fats. And then when you have your carbohydrates and your protein, there's only 4 calories per gram. So it is a lot higher in calories. So when you kind of overeat your fats, it's very easy to overdo your calories. So that's our good fats. Then we also have our bad fats, which is going to come from basically kind of greasy foods and your pizzas and your crisps and your chips and your burgers and your fatty bacon, all that kind of stuff. And bad fats can basically confuse your appetite. And what I mean by that is, like, there's a lot of times you can eat a lot of shitty food and you won't even feel full after it. If you sat down eating a bag of Doritos, you'd probably mangle the whole thing and you'd still feel hungry after it. And you'll have piled in the calories, you've piled in a load of crap. So it's not going to have any positive effect on your body, especially if you want to lose weight and drop body fat. Bad fats as well is going to have a negative impact on your health, can raise your cholesterol, your blood pressure, have an effect on heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancers, all this kind of stuff. So it's not saying that you can't eat this stuff. It's about being aware of it and having it in moderation. Because at the end of the day, if you keep putting all this shit into you, you're not going to get the goodness that your body needs, and that's when it's going to affect your weight, your energy levels, your stress levels, your sleep, your digestion, all this kind of stuff. So just making you aware of the 2 different types of fats. Next up then we have our protein, which is going to kind of come from your lean meats, your eggs, your fish, even nuts, seeds is going to have protein as well. There's actually a lot of protein in some vegetables as well, but it's obviously you've got to eat a lot more to get the proper amount of protein into your body every day. And there's loads of benefits of having a higher protein diet. One, it's going to make you feel fuller for longer. Two, it can actually help you prevent snacking in the evening because you're feeling fuller. Three, it can help increase your energy levels. Four, it's going to keep your appetite under control. It's going to help with building muscle. It's going to help increase your metabolism. It's going to help lower blood pressure, maintain your weight. Obviously, it helps your body as well even repair itself from injuries and stuff like that. So it's not just for eating more protein to build muscle. It has a massive amount of different benefits that can positively help you moving forward. And also as well, your body works harder to break down protein than fats and carbs. So as your body breaking down protein, you're even burning off even more calories as well on top of that. So that's our protein. Next up is our carbs. So just like the fats, we kind of have like good carbs and bad carbs. So we have our complex carbohydrates. And the complex carbs are basically carbohydrates that have a lot more fiber in it. It has a lot more nutrients in it. And it breaks down a lot slower inside the body. So when the carbohydrates breaks down the body, it basically turns into glucose, which is kind of sugar in the body, which gives you energy. And when it breaks down a bit slower, it gives you that slow increase in energy. And after that, you don't have a fast crash after it, which comes with, I suppose, the bad carbohydrates, which we'll touch on in a minute. And good carbs include stuff like your fruit and veg, your oats, your brown rice, quinoa, beans, lentils, sweet potatoes, stuff like that. So then obviously there's going to be a lot of benefits as well of having this type of carbohydrate. Prevent spikes in the blood sugar, like I just said. Can help speed up recovery, help with energy production, help control your weight, better for your digestion as well. Having that higher fiber in your diet, help with muscle growth, boosting mood, brain function, disease prevention, and can even keep your body a lot calmer and help you with sleep. Then moving on to the other side of your carbohydrates. So again, this is going to be kind of more sugary based stuff. It could be like sweet breads and stuff like that, or white bread. And these are going to be stuff as well that won't have the fiber in it. So there's no really good stuff in it. It's more kind of focused on like a filler. It will make you feel kind of full, but it's not going to give you a lot of massive nutrients that are in it. So like white bread, pizza, pasta, pastries, white flour, white rice, sweet desserts. There's even like a lot of breakfast cereals as well, would be kind of simple carbohydrates. So they're the ones, again, that we want to try and keep to a minimal and eat more of the complex carbohydrates when we're choosing our meals and trying to plan out what we're going to eat on a day-to-day basis. So that's our fats, our protein, our carbs. And then we have our micronutrients, which is going to kind of come from plant-based foods or phytonutrients. And these play a really important role in the body, simply because every day in your body there's new cells dying and there's new cells growing, and it's just part of the aging process. But what you put into your body on a daily basis will determine how those new cells will build and develop. So it'll help with energy levels, it'll help like have better complexion in your skin, help to fight off disease. Because like I said, your body's like a machine, and for your body to be able to fight off disease and get better when you're sick and all that kind of stuff, it needs specific things, which is going to be all your vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. And when you kind of look at getting your, say, plant-based stuff, your salads and your veg and stuff like that, it's really important as well to have a wide variety of different types of fruit and veg in different colors, because all the different types and colors have different types of phytonutrients, all the vitamins and minerals. So having that wide variety is really going to be really important if you want to really kind of focus on optimal health. And this is where a lot of people actually lack. They might say, yeah, I eat some veg, all right, I have some broccoli and carrots with my dinner. But what about the rest of the meals throughout the day? So at the end of the day, we need to be getting as much of this kind of foods in as possible. It's going to be, you're going to get a lot of fiber as well from your vegetables. And on top of that, like you're not really going to eat that much if you just have it with one meal. So what I generally kind of suggest to people, especially if you're lacking getting your fruit and veg in, is trying to have at least one raw smoothie a day. Putting your like that's what I kind of have every day myself. Trying to have one raw smoothie where I'll put, say, spinach, carrots, celery, ginger, some berries, banana. I throw some scoop of protein as well into it. just blend it all up and knock it back. So again, it's just a simple way to get a bit more, I suppose, goodness into your body each and every day. So next part then, on top of your macro and micronutrients, is going to be basically you're going to be a hydration. A lot of people are dehydrated, and getting more water into is simply just going to be about creating a new habit for yourself. Having a water bottle with you all the time. If you're working at a desk, make sure that it's on the desk. Because if you just kind of randomly get a glass of water every now and then, there's probably a good chance you'll sit there for 4 or 5 hours without even going anywhere near a glass of water. So by having a bottle there, kind of knowing what size it is, if it's a 750 ml or 1 liter or whatever, going, right, you know what, I'm going to get through 2 of them today. So ideally trying to get, I suppose, 2 to 3 liters a day. To help with hydration as well, you can put like a pinch of, say, pink Himalayan salt, or get some Celtic salt. That's something I do at the moment myself. Every morning, pinch of Celtic salt underneath my tongue, leave it for about 60 seconds, and then knock back a glass of water. And it just helps your body absorb the water a lot better. So it's better for your hydration. So cool. So next part then, moving on to, and it's going to be, I suppose, types of foods. So this kind of relates back to the carbohydrates, because your glycemic index is basically an index of food on a scale of different levels. And it basically goes through how fast your body breaks down the food and turns it into sugar in the body. So, so some of the foods that we went through on the simple carbohydrates, they'd be ones that would be higher on the glycemic index, because it will give you that insulin spike straight away. Your blood sugars will rush up. And that's what kind of will give you a bit of an instant hit in energy. You might find as well that throughout the day, you know, if you get a slump or you're getting tired or whatever, you might go for something sugary, biscuits or any of this kind of stuff, because it's going to give you that energy hit quicker. And that's kind of probably what you're looking for. And what happens is you'll get that spike of energy, but then you might get a crash then a couple of hours later. So like even looking at what you have for breakfast can definitely impact how you feel around the lunchtime. So having, I suppose, foods in lower GI. Now you probably can't even see some of the foods on the glycemic index here in the chart, but like all the foods out there will fall in somewhere around there. But what you can do, just Google it. So just Google glycemic index and just look at all the foods in there and kind of choose foods that are on the lower scale more often than foods that are in the higher scale. And the benefits of this will help with losing weight, lowering blood pressure. It's going to be a lot more nutrient-rich foods that are on the lower scale as well. Helps with improving diabetes, lowering your risk of heart disease. And it's going to be a lot better for your body overall as well on top of that. So just something to be aware of when you're kind of choosing foods and stuff like that, that you're not choosing foods that are up on the higher end and are more sugary and give you that insulin spike straight away. So next part, what should I be eating for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? So this is something that no matter what meal you have, you should just be looking at it as meal 1, 2, 3, rather than breakfast, right? Breakfast, I have to have like cereal, and then lunch, maybe I have to have like a sandwich or a wrap, and then dinner, okay, right, I'll have my meat and 3 veg, that'll be my dinner. So the way you want to look at every meal is asking yourself, do you have some sort of protein in there? Do you have some sort of good carbs in there? And do you have some sort of veg salad stuff in there as well? So that way you're giving your body basically what it needs. You're having that variety of different things. And you're not just kind of focused on, right, breakfast has to be cereal kind of thing. And remember, like eating meats, chicken, all that kind of stuff. Again, you can have that with any meal. I've said to people before about having a bit of, say, chicken for breakfast and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, but isn't that something you'd have for your dinner or your lunch or whatever? So it's just getting out of that mindset and always focusing on getting more whole foods into your diet each and every day. So whole foods are foods that have been alive. They've either had a heartbeat or they've grown from the ground. So that's just the way to kind of think of it and get that kind of foods into at least 80% of the time anyway. So just a couple of ideas what you might have for breakfast. Eggs, and make an omelette in the morning. Simple, just whisk up a couple of eggs. You're going to get some good protein. You can chop up some salad stuff, some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some peppers, whatever. Throw it in there, some, I don't know, mushrooms or whatever. And it's just like a good, nutritious, healthy breakfast. You could have some oats. The moment, that's what I've been having at the moment, is I'll have like 50 grams of oats. I'll crack 3 eggs into the oats in a bowl. I'll whisk it up. I've been adding a bit of cinnamon into it. chop up, say, half a banana, and I'm frying that in the pan in coconut oil. And I actually find that really, really nice. Helps you feel fuller throughout the whole morning. And then I have like a handful of blueberries as well with that. You could also make yourself a smoothie, make overnight oats, whatever it is that you want. Again, we're just looking to get some good, nutritious foods into you for that first meal of the day, whatever time that you do have breakfast. And you don't necessarily have to have breakfast straight away when you get up. If you don't enjoy having breakfast, don't worry about it. All we want to do is look at your overall eating patterns throughout the whole day. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning, so don't worry about that. Next thing, lunch ideas, salad, wraps, some sort of protein with, say, veg and rice. Again, you could have an omelette, you could have a smoothie. Again, we're just looking for more nutritious, real food as well for lunch. And it's the exact same then again for dinner. Are we getting some sort of lean protein? Are we getting some sort of veggie salad? Are we getting some sort of good carbs into our diet? And then as well, even on snacks on top of that, getting some fruit into your diet. Most people as well are lacking the amount of protein they get in. So I'd always kind of suggest maybe trying to pick snacks that are a bit higher, say, in protein. If you're someone that has a bit of a sweet tooth, instead of grabbing like a chocolate bar, maybe you grab like a protein bar. And it's not that protein bars are good for you. It's more that you're getting that, say, extra 20 grams of protein by having that bar. So you're getting your bit of a chocolate fix and you're getting your protein as well at the same time. So that's just kind of the way to look at each of the meals. And again, it's not about completely restricting yourself from having foods that you enjoy. It's about making sure that you get into your eating habits that are going to suit you long term, but at the same time help you making progress and getting results towards whatever it is that you want to be able to achieve. So next part I'm just going to go through is energy balance. And this is something really important to understand, is because this is what's going to be the difference between you getting results and you not getting results. So for example, if you want to lose weight and drop body fat, you need to burn more calories than you consume each and every day. To lose 1 kilo of body fat, that is equivalent to 7,000 calories. So to drop even just 1 kilo a week, you need to be in that calorie deficit, like we spoke about before, and you need to be burning an excess of 7,000 calories in that week to burn off 1 kilo of body fat. If your goal is to gain weight, then it's going to be the opposite. We want to make sure that we're over consuming our calories. Again, eating plenty of protein, getting lots of whole foods, veg, fruits, all that kind of stuff into us as well. And that's what's going to help you put on weight if that's your goal. If your goal is just feeling healthier, feeling more energized, looking after your health, then just again, it comes back to getting all these whole foods that we just spoke about, getting that in as much as possible, having your smoothies, all this kind of stuff. So also as well, like I'll come across people and they might say, do you know what? I've been eating really healthy, but my weight still isn't moving. And just because you're eating healthy, it doesn't mean you will lose weight, because you can overconsume your calories eating healthy. So just as an example, right, an apple there. Apple is about 95 calories. And let's say, for example, your maintenance calories was 1,800. So that would mean that that's the amount of calories you burn per day, 1,800, or even say, for example, 1,600, whatever. And if you were to go away and eat 20 apples, that would be equivalent to 1,900 calories roughly that you would consume just from eating apples. Apples are healthy, they're full of nutrients, they're full of fiber, all that kind of stuff, but you still over consume the calories you're burning every day. So that means you will eventually start putting on weight from just eating the apples, even though they are healthy. So it's really important to understand that part as well, because it will play a vital role in whether you achieve the results you want or not. Now, so yeah, next part then is we went through there understanding energy balance. Next thing is understanding your calorie needs and your protein needs. So to work out how many calories you actually need, we'll use something called a TDEE calculator. And it kind of calculates your calories based off your age, your weight, your height, and your activity levels. And I'm going to go through in a minute and I'll show you exactly where to find one of these calculators. And then for your protein needs, all you simply do is whatever weight you are in kilos, say for example, you're 80 kilos, you simply double that number. So it'll be 160. So it'll be 160 grams of protein you're looking to consume each and every day. So whatever your age is, whatever your age is, whatever your weight is in kg, you just simply double that number, and that's the grams of protein you're aiming for daily. So next up, I'm going to give you a quick example of someone. Just say, for example, this person, their goal is to lose 10 kilos, right? We know that in losing a kilo, we need to reduce our calorie intake by 7,000 a week. So their calorie target, this is basically just as an example, they're put them in a deficit, is 1,800. So that's what they need to be consuming every day in order to achieve their weight loss goal. And if you add up the 1,800 calories by 7 days, it gives you 12,600. So 12,600 calories per week. We're going to look at the overall week, right? Now, you can see there, Monday, Tuesday, bang, they were underneath their calories. So they saved themselves an extra 200 each day there. They went 1,600. Then they were hitting their target Wednesday, Thursday. So they're still in their calories deficit. So they're doing really good. Then let's just say, for example, Friday came along and they ended up having a big meal with the family. And then they ended up watching a movie together, and he had a few snacks and a couple of beers. So that bumped his calories up, say 2,500. So again, we're already gone over for the Friday. Saturday night comes along, they might have had, say, a night out, could have just have drinks, or they might have went for dinner again or whatever. And overall, their calories kind of hit 3,200. So again, they're gone over. Sunday, someone could wake up hungover, or it might be a day that they always have a fry up in the morning. So Sunday morning, I'm going to have a big fry, and then I might have a takeaway that evening as well. And say, for example, they had 2,500 calories. So when you add all them up, it equals 15,000 calories. So straight away, we know that for this week, they ate 15,000 calories. And as I was saying a minute ago, their weekly allowance for their calories is basically 12,600. So they're actually gone over it. So the 15,000, you divide that by 7, you can see there's 2,142 on average of what they kind of would have eaten on average over that week. So hopefully this is kind of making sense. And their total goal would have been 12,600. So that means they overconsume by 2,400 calories. So this person would have said, you know what, I did really well on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I ate under my calories on Monday and Tuesday. So I should be losing weight. I should be on track. But they're not on track, because already they've overconsumed their calories. And if they're doing this week after week, let's say they've even done it for 4 weeks, that's nearly an extra 10,000 calories they're gone over within 4 weeks if they've done that each and every week. So understanding your calories is going to be really important. And like I said a while ago, it'll be the difference between you losing weight, dropping body fat, and gaining weight. So this is just something to kind of really understand, and hopefully that kind of all made sense. Next part then is, do we have to give up the foods that we love, or even nights out with friends? Or can we still do this kind of a week and still make progress? And to be honest, the answer to that is yes. It just all comes down to planning ahead. So that last slide showed us that we went over by 2,400 calories. So if we had planned ahead for that, if we had worked out how many calories roughly we would have had that week by incorporating our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we could have easily planned ahead. And what we would have done there is we would have still ate the same, but we would have upped our activity levels. So just an example, getting your 10,000 steps in a day. 10,000 steps is roughly around 500 calories, right? So you do that over 7 days, that's 3,500 calories just from your steps. Then we're adding in some workouts. So workout, let's just say, for example, you burn 100 calories in 10 minutes. And for every 10 minutes of a bit of a workout that you do, trying to keep the intensity up. So again, 60 minutes, that could be about 600 calories or so you burn there. So just 10K steps, and a good hour intense workout, you're looking at just over 1,000 calories just from the workouts alone. So if this was you and you're already doing, say, 10,000 steps a day, and you're doing, say, 2 to 3 workouts a week, and you knew you're going to have this big weekend coming up, what I would have been suggesting you to do is say, right, you know what, we're going to try and bump it up to 15,000 steps a day. And instead of doing 2 to 3 workouts, we're going to aim to do 4 to 5 workouts. So what you would have done then is you'd still get to enjoy your weekend. You'd still get to eat the same foods, but the fact that you've upped your activity levels, that you've moved a lot more that week, would have offset those extra calories you were about to have at that weekend. And how we actually go about, I suppose, tracking all this and working it all out is just simply by, one, we figure out our calories, which I'm going to show you now, by using a TDEE calculator. And then the next part is we would work out our protein target by simply just doubling our weight in kilos. And then we would track it using MyFitnessPal. And if you're tracking it using MyFitnessPal or you're trying to work out a meal plan, it's best to use a laptop or PC just because it's a lot clearer and easier to see it. So what we're going to kind of go through next here is I'm going to share my screen again here. We're going to pop it in here. So first up, you go to calculator.net and then you scroll down and you go to BMR calculator. That stands for basal metabolic rate, which is basically roughly the amount of calories your body burns per day without you doing anything. So I'm going to stick in my details here. Pop in your age. I'm 41, male, I think about 181 centimeters. Current weight is 78 kg. Click calculate, and you'll see here on the side, my BMR is roughly around 1,700 calories. So that's kind of roughly what my body will burn per day. Now, we look below, look at the training and stuff like that to kind of take on board and get a kind of rough idea in terms of activity levels, how many calories would we burn on average per day. So say, for example, for me, at the moment, I'm actually training 6 days a week. And one of those days is actually twice just because of jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. So let's just say I'm burning 2,000, we'll just round it down to 2,900 calories. So, and if my goal is to lose weight and drop body fat, what I do is get 2,000, just say, for example, 900 calories, and I'll divide that by 20%. Equals 2,900, sorry, minus 20% equals 2,300, roughly around that. So that would be my daily calorie target, 2,300. That would put me in a calorie deficit. And then I just round up my weight, let's just say 80 kilos to make it easier, and we'll say 160 grams of protein would be my target daily. So then what we do is we come to MyFitnessPal, set yourself up an account, jump in here. Once you come into the food part, you can go into your settings and stuff like that and set your calories and set your protein targets and all that kind of stuff. But just to show you, come in here, come into breakfast. So at the moment, I've been having my eggs. Let's type in eggs, and it should pop up here. Just say eggs there, and then I normally pop 3 eggs in with my oats. So I'm just going to quickly just throw my breakfast in there just to give you an idea. Oats. So let's just say this one oats here. Come down. I'm looking for probably roughly about 2 cups. You can look for one as well that'll have grams in it if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to put 2 cups of oats in there. With that as well, I have a banana. So pop that in there. Let's just say it's meat and banana, just to give you an example anyway. Pop in a banana. I then would have blueberries. So just like a handful of blueberries, let's just say a couple of blueberries, 42 calories, that's all good. And then something you need to remember as well is that when you're cooking with stuff, you need to put in the oil. Me, I've got like a teaspoon of coconut oil, so bang that in as well. And that would basically be my breakfast every morning, roughly around that anyway. So we can see here, total calories, 691, total protein, 33 calories. So if you're when you're designing a meal plan for yourself, come up with a few different suggestions for yourself for, say, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and your snacks. And then at the end, what we're looking at the total. So we're looking at the total for our calorie intake and our protein intake. Now we know for me, I'm looking for 160 grams of protein as a target minimum. And I'm looking to make sure that I'm kind of close to 2,300 calories, but not going over it. So then I know that I'm in my calorie deficit. I know that I'm hitting my protein target. And literally, I just stick with that. If I know I'm having a big night out ahead, and I'd say, right, you know what, I know next weekend now we're going to be getting a takeaway, we're going to be having a couple of beers. So all you simply do is you will plan ahead, type it in here. Let's just say, for example, I'm going to be drinking Heineken. So I'll go bang, and let's just say I'm going to have a big night out, I'm going to have 10 bottles of Heineken. So I throw that inside there, and then I'm going to say as well, do you know what, I'm probably going to have a pizza. So you can type in whatever pizza you're going to have. Could be anything at a stone-based pizza. One pizza, 360 calories. So you could read, look, there's a margarita pizza. This is only half a pizza. So one pizza, bang in there, a margarita pizza. And we know that, look, 2,282 calories for the beers and the pizza. So that's going to be a lot. And that's something that a lot of people can be putting away. So what you would do is you kind of roughly put in what you normally have, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and your whatever you're going to have there. And once you've kind of seen this before you even get to the weekend, you go, you know what, shit, I need to actually work off that extra 2,000 calories. And by doing so, you can then plan ahead. You can up your activity levels. You can get more walks in. You can get more workouts in. And if you manage to burn off that extra 2,000 calories before you even have it, that means you get to the weekend, you have your night out, you enjoy yourself, and come Monday, you haven't gone backwards because you've already worked off the calories that you've consumed. So that means you're still making progress moving forward. And whereas if you had not planned ahead, then you could be in a place where, right, you get to the weekend, having a big bloat, and oh shit, you know, I have to spend the next week now actually working it off. So you better to plan ahead, burn off the calories. Also, as well, if you know you're having a big night out, whatever it is, you might say, do you know what, I'm going to skip my breakfast today and just have lunch because I know I'm going to be having a big meal later on and a lash of beers and stuff like that. So doing little things like that. Also, as well, if you knew you're going to have a big night out the week before or the week ahead, you could also start to say reduce your calories and reduce your calories from what you're actually having rather than having the amount of calories that you kind of planned for yourself that week. So for example, we were saying for me, it's about 2,200 calories. So what I might do there is instead of having the 2,200 calories each day, I might instead just focus on having, say, 2,000 calories a day. So that would save me 2,000 calories each day rather than actually hitting my targets each day. So if I saved an extra 2,000 calories a day over that week, I would have had an extra 1,400 calories then to play with. So there's loads of different ways to kind of work around this. And the main thing is that you are prepared, that you do kind of stay on track yourself, because it will help you progress, move forward, and stay on track working towards your goals. Sorry, there now. It's going to reshare my screen again. Let's share the screen, and it's simply just to finish off here now. So that is basically how we create our meal plan, how we work out our calories, how we work out our protein, and more importantly, how we plan ahead for when we're having our nights out and stuff. So that's the end of today's session, all around nutrition. If you've any questions on this, be sure to shoot me a message. If you didn't understand any of it or anything like that, again, just shoot me a message. And yeah, just let me know how are you going to nutrition? What do you feel you need to be changing right now? And yeah, let's get you absolutely smashing your goals, improving on your eating habits, and importantly as well is improving on your health.